Welcome back to the Scrapbook Studio Spring Clean series here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. I'm Victoria. I'm so glad that you're here for part 4 in this series. And if you've enjoyed this so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. When you do, click the bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time a new video is posted. So in this series, I'm going through and deep cleaning, purging, and organizing my studio. And in part 4, I'm going to be addressing my computer desk as well as some drawers and my craft island. So far, I have reorganized and purged and cleaned my cabinets as well as my drawer systems. I've reorganized some of my tools, and now it's time to move on to this section of my craft studio. So this is my desk, my computer desk. This is where I edit videos and do some other work. I also have this set of drawers. This is from IKEA. It's the Alex drawer set, and as you can see, it is a hot mess. I have not touched these drawers in several months. I would probably say in over a year and a half. It's kind of become a dumping ground for miscellaneous tools and equipment, small equipment and things of that nature. And I really need to go through and dig through those drawers to see what's in there and only keep what I absolutely need. I'm also going to clean my desktop. I'm going to address my albums. This is kind of going to be more of a cleanup. I do have a plan to purchase all black and black and gray albums and convert all of my albums so I can have one clean color scheme. I'm also going to clean off that little area that's on top of the albums there, just a little tidying up. My daughter's going to clean her side of the craft island. I do share this space with my 12-year-old as she loves to craft and make, so she's going to clean her spot as well. I'm going to go through the drawers here in my craft island as well as the shelves on the two at the bottom of the craft island as well. So just going to clean out just a few things. There's some stuff I've already organized, but it doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt rather, to go through and see if I need to purge anything. I am going to have a small box of items that I will purge from this clean this time. And I think once this part is done, I'll be good to go. I am going to maintain my December daily cart for right now, but that will go down this summer once I'm done with those projects. And then I have that We Are Memory Keepers project cart that will remain. And then, of course, I have a little bit of stuff that needs to go, the little Christmas tree, as well as some more Christmas decor that's just been hanging out up here. And so now a quick dance break to psych myself up to get ready for this another round of cleaning. Now, I will say, there was a delay between part 3 and part 4 because I took some time off. I had been working like crazy, so I needed to take some time off. And then when I came back to this project, I didn't realize how much time it was going to take me. So one of my number one tips is when you're getting ready to purge and organize your space is to give yourself plenty of time, depending on how big your space is. Because sometimes you get started on a task and it may take you a little bit longer. Even if you have to break down a specific task in chunks, like you work for an hour and then maybe come back to it for another hour, that's a great way to get some momentum if you don't have a large amount of time to work on the space. This time in part 4, it took me a good part of maybe half a day or maybe a little bit longer to get everything organized and purged. I had some stops and goes and some interruptions throughout all of that. I had to stop and get lunch for my mom and my daughter, that type of thing. So it took me a little bit longer. So what you're seeing here is me moving some things out of space. That's one of the things that I like to do when I organize. I need to get a clear understanding of what I'm working with. So I'm clearing some stuff out. I'm organizing a bin of projects that are going to go under my craft desk. So anytime I receive product or if I put kits together, I put them under my desk so I can work on them later. I also grabbed an empty box because the purge is about to begin. Once I cleaned off the desktop and wiped everything down, there wasn't much to that other than to tidy it up. I'm going to go through all of my drawers here in this Alex drawer system. Oh, look, I found a little iPod. I had no clue that was hiding in the drawers. So anyway, I'm going to clean all of this out. I'm going to get out old USBs and tools and things that I just don't use. And I'm going to wipe the drawers down. I noticed that I have some pencil shavings and some lead that kind of stained the bottom of the drawer, but that's okay. It's not going to be seen once I put the organizers in there. But I am going to wipe it down with some surface cleaner. And as I am pulling things out the drawer, they're going into one of 3 places. They're going into a specific category depending on the item, or if it's trash, it's going in the trash. You can see I have my trash can right next to me, or it's going to go into that purge box. I like to make quick, fast decisions whenever I am purging. Of course, if you've watched the series so far, you notice that I do make pretty quick decisions about items that I don't want. So I found if I go ahead and make decisions about these items and get them out my space, I'm less likely to have them hanging around in my scrappy space, not taking them to where they need to be, whether it's a trash can, whether it's donation, or some other part of my house. I want to make sure that I'm making those decisions quick and fast so I don't second guess myself and hang on to stuff that I really don't need to hang on to. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to clean out the drawers. I like to clean as I go when I'm purging and organizing. Once that's done, I am looking at all the items. There's a lot of stuff in those drawers, and again, had been cleaned out in about a year or so. So I'm getting rid of some stuff, just basic office things, some inks that I no longer need because I don't have that specific printer. I have a pile of trash that's going to go away. I've got all kinds of stuff that's just kind of laying around. Then I also like to reuse any organization bins, so I have those stacked up. And I want to go through and make sure that all the drawers are cleared out, that I'm not missing anything. I like, again, to pull everything out of the drawer. And now that I have a clean slate, I can decide what needs to go back in the drawer, what makes sense to me right now, and how I work and how I function. I don't want to fill these drawers up to the brim, but I do want to make sure that I have elements there that I use. Now that bottom drawer, there's something behind it and I can't get it out, so it's not going to close all the way. So now that I have everything laid out, I can clearly see what I have, what I don't want to keep, what I do want to keep, and I can start organizing it accordingly. Now, after all that work, it's time for a quick taco break. At the time that I was filming it, it was Tuesday, so Taco Tuesday. So we grabbed tacos for lunch, we took a break, watched a little bit of TV before we got back at it. And of course, you know, my tween is weird. All right, so now we are getting ready to clean up the island, and my daughter Corinne, you want to say hi, everybody?
Hi.
She occupies this side of the island, so she maintains and cleans everything, organizes it the way that she wants. On this side of the island, well, both of the islands, these are kitchen islands from Wayfair, and I'm going to tell you, because I know people are going to ask, I do not believe this style of kitchen island is available on Wayfair. I will see if I can look up the name of it and see if I can find a link. If not, I'll let you know it's not available. These were on sale and they sold out super quick about a year or so ago. So I don't know if it's still available, but it's just 2 kitchen islands put back to back. They have 2 drawers and then 2 shelves. And the little spot where you would pull up like a little small bench or something is on the other side. Clearly we need access to the drawers. So and of course we need to put it back to back so we don't use that part of the island. So she's wiping everything down. get anything organized the way she wants over here. She also has the same bins as I do on the other side of the island. We're going to wipe off those tops because those look a little dusty. We apparently have naked Barbies hanging out. Those are being used for your mini build, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So she's making clothes for them right now. So we've got fabric and they're being fitted for a variety of different things right now. So we need to put some clothes on our naked models. Okay, so over here, I've got a box of stuff that's going to be donated that I pulled, all the stuff I pulled out of the drawers that I'm not going to be using. And then here on my side, I've got some product and things I need to put away, some old homeschool curriculum that I need to put in the recycle bin. And then I'm going to straighten up my shelves here as well. And then I have some things that I'm relocating out that I had in the drawers, an old iPhone that I need to donate so it can be wiped and recycled. I'm going to go ahead and put the computer in cold storage right now. By cold storage, that means I put it in another spot in my house. We have 2 Apple computers that are old that need to be serviced, and we'll probably sell them. And then I've just got some small little bits and pieces here that are going to go in our brown cabinet. That's where I'm keeping like photo paper and ink. And then apparently I've found some of our old Disney bands as well. So I'll put that with our Disney stuff in my closet. Got some trash to take out. Once we finish cleaning up the island and organizing the albums and all that good stuff, then I'll take some trash down. I'm going to vacuum. And then I also need to clear out this space over here. I had to order another Christmas tree organizer, a little storage container to put our Christmas tree in. This is the tree that stays up here, or at least I thought it was going to be our craft tree. But we're just going to pull it out during the Christmas holiday because now we just don't have a lot of room for it. I've got some Christmas pillows and stuff that were here on the little window ledge that are going to be going down to the garage. And there's some extra stuff that needs to go. And then I've got something that needs to be returned to Hobby Lobby. And I've got some hammer mill paper that I need to work into my stash. Photo album, this needs to go in the trash. I don't know why this is here. So just some smaller little last bits and pieces before I vacuum the floor, which it really, really, really needs. And then I'll be ready to film the complete walkthrough of this space. It's coming together so nice. Yeah. Oh my God, does anybody have a tween in their life? This is what I put it with all day. Weirdo. Anyway, so we'll be ready to film a final walkthrough of this completed studio. All right, we're gonna get back to it. By the way, later this month, I'm gonna be tackling my craft closet. I'm gonna give you a little peek here. Yep, there it is in all of its glory. So that is to come. I'm just gonna shut the door on that. We'll worry about that later. But that is to come. There's all kinds of stuff in that little closet. I'm gonna pull it all out and organize it and purge like I did this entire space. So stay tuned. That's going to be... So at this point, Corinne and I are going through and we are purging items we don't want. She goes through this process just as I do. I also have a trash bag ready to go for anything that needs to go in the trash. I have a box to the side for any recycle items. And we're just going to go through each of these things and decide what we want to keep, what we want to let go. And then we also are going to go through our drawers and take anything out that we're not using, any duplicate tools and whatnot, and get those all nice and organized. I did find some extra adhesive that I had hanging out in my drawer. This is some temporary adhesive by Tombow. I'm going to go ahead and add that into my adhesive storage, which you guys saw me organize this, I believe, in the second video. I think that might be in part 2, so you want to go check that out. I'm just going to go ahead and put that adhesive right in there. And then, of course, I look over and my tween is doing this because there's never a dull moment here in the Galton household. This kid keeps me laughing all day. Okay, so we have our desktops all cleared off. Corinne did take a moment to go through all of her items, and I allow her to make decisions about what she wants to keep, unless it's something that I feel that I need to keep, but other than that, she lets things go as needed. So now I'm going to start cleaning off the drawers. I got these organizers from a store called At Home, and they store just some tools that I reach for all the time, like my acrylic blocks and things, my heat guns and such. I'm also going to use this We Are Memory Keepers little vac, and it gets up things like glitter and little dust particles and that type of stuff. Totally worth the purchase. I was kind of on the fence about this because I didn't think it was going to be a powerful tool, but it has definitely helped. I live in Texas, so it's quite dusty, so I like to use small tools like that to help me clean my shelves and that type of thing. So I tested it out and it worked. This is definitely going to be a staple in my craft room. So I'm going to go ahead and dust things off, wipe things down. Some of these things are already organized. It's just a matter of tidying some stuff up and dusting. And then I'm also going to rearrange a few of the items there on the shelf just so that it works a little better for me. I'm going to move my trimmers to a different part of my craft area. Again, still accessible, but I don't need them right there on the shelves. I'm going to play around with the configuration for a little bit until I come up with something that I think will work for me. Next up, I'm going to organize the drawers in my craft island. That's one of the reasons why I purchased this specific kitchen island, is because it did have drawers, and I love to keep my small tools. It used to be that I kept my small tools on my desktop, but I don't like that. I like my desktop nice and clear when I'm not using it. So I'm going to go through all of these. As you notice, I have some organizers in here. I purchased those when I purchased the craft island. And I'm going to go through and see if I can get rid of any duplicate items. Like for instance, I have two tiny attachers. I only need one, and I only prefer the Tim Holtz one. I'm going to let the other one go. I have some craft knives and piercers and some other tools that I use on a regular basis. And I'm just going to go through and pick out only the ones that I absolutely love and that I use, and then everything else will go away. And I'll repeat this process for the second drawer as well.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground.
In addition to small tools, I also like to keep a couple of ink pads at the ready. These are ink pads that I use all the time, like Versamark or StazOn. And I'm also going to remove some tools that I'm going to keep, but I'm just going to put them in different areas that make sense to me. And I also am going to pull up my little organizers that I have on the shelves of that craft island. So I have a bin for craft pins, journaling pins, and they don't exceed that particular container because that means I have too many. And I also have one for inks. So any extra inks that I reach for, I'm going to go ahead and put those there so I can just grab them real quickly. And all the rest of the items will go into different spots in my craft studio. Now, one thing I wanted to suggest, if you share your space with a child, a tween, a teenager, or whomever, be sure to allow them to set up their side of the space, little desk or whatnot, how they work. So my daughter has organized her side of the craft island based on the tools that she likes to use, organized in a way that makes sense to her at age 12. This is one thing that I try not to gatekeep. I want to enjoy this space with her for as long as I possibly can before she heads off one day. And so I just allow her to organize things that make sense to her so she can easily grab all her fun supplies and enjoy crafting and making in this space. And with that, part 4 is done. This took me a little bit longer than what I anticipated. I did take a few days off so I could kind of relax and recoup, but I am glad that I took the time to go through spring clean, purge a bunch of stuff. I think I purged at least 8 boxes worth of supplies and things that I don't need. And now my space is nice and clear. It's set up based on how I work and functionality first. And down the road, I'll tweak and fine tune things as I need to. But for right now, this space does exactly what I needed to do. I can find everything that I want to use. It's organized in a way that makes sense based on how I scrapbook and craft today. And if I need to change anything or edit anything down the road, I will. And there's a lot of things I want to do in this space, but it serves its purpose for right now. I am totally happy with how this came out. So in a few days, I will be posting a final walkthrough of this space. I'll do an overview, a general overview, and then I'll do a detailed one for those of you who like to get inside all the drawers and nooks and crannies. So stay tuned for that to come. And as always, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe here to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. Click the bell so you'll be notified each and every time new videos are posted. I'll see you guys in a few days with a final walkthrough.